What if everything you thought was interrupting your spiritual life was actually the spiritual life itself? Let's see what Screwtape has to say. Welcome to Turn the Page. From the great book by C.S. Lewis, The Screwtape Letters, let's look at our first quote. "Do not be deceived, Wormwood. Our cause is never more in danger than when a human, no longer desiring but still intending to do our enemy's will, looks round upon a universe from which every trace of him seems to have vanished and asks why he has been forsaken and still obeys." Okay, it's the fourth quarter, it's 49-0, and you're not going to win today. How you conduct yourself on the field right now is the kind of football player that you really are. C.S. Lewis imagines forces through the voice of a Screwtape who would tell you to give up, get angry, or show your true colors when all is lost, when there's nothing left to gain. Well, what remains is character. And character, it turns out, is the only thing that demons can't touch when it's forged in the furnace of a crucified abandonment. Now, this is the acid test of virtue. Anyone can be gracious when they're getting what they want. Say that you're attending the wedding of a girl you've always loved as she marries another. The measure of a soul isn't taken at the victory party. It's taken in the receiving line at someone else's celebration. When your heart is breaking and your smile must somehow be genuine anyway. There's no audience for this kind of goodness except God. And if God seems to have left the building, what then? Why try? There are 1,000 other examples of how life doesn't unfold according to script, and how you behave in those moments is the only thing that matters. And this is why Screwtape is nervous. The demonic strategy depends on fair weather faith, on human beings who obey because obedience pays off in some way. But when the God of the universe stops paying out, when the heavens go silent and dark, and a person continues to do what's right simply because it's right, that's when hell starts to panic. That kind of obedience can't be bought, it can't be manipulated, it can't be seduced or threatened into existence. It simply is. And it terrifies evil because goodness exists independent of reward. Now, every single one of life's events is our participation in the Good Friday event of God's Christ. My God, why have you forsaken me? Jesus was saying that on behalf of the entire humanity contained within his body. That moment of apparent abandonment wasn't a breakdown in the divine plan. It was the plan's culmination. The Father and the Son were never more united at the exact same moment when they seemed most divided. And this is the paradox that helps rewrite your history. What looked like cosmic divorce was actually the deepest intimacy. The ultimate fall into an abyss filled with emptiness is your cup overflowing. Now, we navigate reality by contrasts. We have rich and poor, right and wrong, up and down, good and bad, and so on. This list of opposites, they not only greet each other at the foot of the cross, but they fuse into one another, forming a brand new, complex, all-encompassing reality. The cross doesn't resolve these tensions by choosing sides. It swallows them whole by creating something that transcends binary thinking entirely. This story has been with us from the beginning, and it is most famously recognized as the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which is right smack dab in the middle of what? God's good paradise. That's the cross right off the bat. The tree that apparently introduced humanity to division, to the exhausting work of sorting things into categories, it did no such thing. The cross of Christ, the original tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the place where Jesus cried out that he was being forsaken, is the tree that contains everything evil and everything good, as well as everything in between. God forsakes you as he embraces you. And Screwtape knows the crucifixion of God is the alpha and the omega of history, of your history, of every story ever told. When you obey in the darkness, as Jesus did, when you continue to love at the wedding that's breaking your heart, or when you're playing with integrity in a game you've already lost, you're participating in cruciform reality. You're living inside of the mystery where apparent abandonment and deepest union coexist. Crucified goodness doesn't need the support system of binary thinking, of reward or punishment, because it is both. You're becoming the thing demons can't explain and can't defeat. A human being who loves for love's sake, who continues when every rational reason to continue has evaporated. That's not weakness or insanity. That's the most dangerous force in the universe. It's the force that turned a Roman execution into a place where every polarity is swallowed up in his obedience. Your spiritual life is never being interrupted. God is revealing its cruciform shape. Now take that, Screwtape. That was fun. We'll tackle another quote from the Screwtape Letters on the next Turn the Page.